Hey y'all, welcome to Midweek Minis, the show where you get to ask us questions and tell us your personal stories. I'm Mitch Lawrence, and that's my wife Leah Lawrence.
Hey y'all.
And we do have personal stories yet again. Who's excited?
I'm excited.
I'm excited. Leah, would you like to just take it away?
I surely will. This is another story that came from that message that was sent to us by the spooky CLT on Instagram. Spooky Charlotte, I believe, is the abbreviation there. So if anybody wants to hear more of these stories, go follow them over on Instagram. But here's another one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this one says, in the 1800s, the John Robinson Circus rolled into uptown Charlotte, bringing with them, among other oddities, a herd of elephants. Chief, the elephant, was by far the largest and, unfortunately, the most abused of the elephants. Chief regularly suffered kerosene burns, beatings, spears to the underbelly, and long trips from city to city while being tied up. Chief turned on his trainer, John King, by crushing him up against the side of his cage, killing him. Chief then made a run for it by running down Tron Street and unfortunately being caught on Church Street, more than 5 blocks away. John King's grave now lies in Elmwood Cemetery in Uptown with a carving of Chief on his tombstone. Some see it as a tribute to the elephant trainer, while others see it as a warning as to what happens when you abuse animals.
Well, my goodness. I don't like that.
I'm sorry.
Let's just move on. I don't like animal
animal cruelty sucks.
Ever. I don't like that one bit. That's my weakness. I definitely have more of a fondness for animals than humans.
Yes, we know that about you.
I'm sorry, but it's very true. So, I'm all done with that, Leah. So let's get into some questions.
Okay, let's get down into this bag.
Get it, ho. Called you ho. You did nothing about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This one is seasonally appropriate.
Yay.
This one is from Sam. It says,
formerly Pip.
Yes. Remember in school when there would be like Bionicle themed Valentine's cards and you had to get them at CVS and they came in weird quantities and you badly ripped all the perforations and your mom made you write every single other kid's name and it was fucking the worst? Discuss.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, one of my favorite things to do was to do that in elementary school. Yeah. Like, because my mom would always take me to the grocery store, either Walmart or Kroger, usually Walmart, and she would let me pick out whatever theme I wanted. And, it was always something stupid.
Leah often chose bumblebees.
No, I like the Muppet ones and the Disney ones and that kind of stuff. Oh, shit. In 5th grade, I got some Harry Potter ones that were the shit. But the problem was Harry Potter
Leah put her hand over her mouth and everything. She was, oh, shit.
No, I didn't. No, those were awesome. But Harry Potter wasn't really popular then yet. So I was the one fucking weird kid. Anyway, it was weird. But at any rate, I loved doing that so much, but I always had crushes on people and I would sit and pick the very perfect card that would tell them just everything, just Valentine you, you know what I mean? And obviously it never worked because I was a fucking fat dorky child, obviously.
Well, and also they got one from everyone else.
Yes,
too.
also. So. But then you would give the real shitty one, the not sparkly, terrible one, because there was always one of those in the pack. You'd always give that the person that you didn't like because you had to, in our school, give one to everybody. Yeah. So,
well, what we did was everyone got a bag with their name on it, and it was attached to the marker holder on the marker board, with tape.
Yeah.
And everyone would just walk down the line and drop one in. So that's what we did, and everyone had those. So, I got lots of Valentines as a youngster.
Yeah, everybody did, because you were required to get them. But as soon as 6th grade hit, and nobody was required,
I just think Valentine's has an age limit in it, and that is a minimum and a maximum, because you're not celebrating Valentine's Day as an elementary school student. You're not, okay? It's a day for fucking, and that's it. That being said, Leah's church also has a Valentine's banquet for the seniors. And what the fuck are they doing on Valentine's Day? Why do they have a banquet? I asked her if it was a singles banquet. She said no. I think it would be awesome if the church hosted a seniors singles banquet for Valentine's Day.
It is a lovely event for old people to get together and have a good time, and their hearts on everything. It doesn't really have much of a theme beyond their hearts on everything.
Right. I'm just saying Valentine's Day is like, quote unquote, special from like 18 to 45 and then fucking stop. You know, just cut it out. You're not doing shit before that. You're not doing shit after that. Again, if it was a swinging singles seniors banquet at the church, I'd be all for it. But it's all like married couples showing up and being old and shit. And it's just no fun.
Mitchell, it's not supposed to be fun.
That's my point. Why do it if it's not fun? It should be a singles banquet at the Baptist church. There should be alcohol. Everyone should be having a good time.
That's completely against everything.
Well, no point in it, period. That's all I'm saying. But you don't see them showing up with, you know, a basket full of Valentines for everybody.
You don't do anything for Valentine's Day anyway.
I do too. I get you a bunch of... I get you a pack of 30 Valentines, and I hand them to you in the package. And a bag of M&Ms.
You fucking fill these out.
Give one to each person inside of you, Leah. Here you go.
That could take a while. All right. So this next one is also from Sam. It says, how quickly did you get tired of Baby Yoda? I didn't. Fucking love Baby Yoda. I'm here for it.
Well, we also haven't watched The Mandalorian. No. I mean, I don't care for the memes.
Oh, I love them. I think they're fucking adorable. I know they're irritating for most people, but I'm not most people. Yeah. I love that shit. It's adorable. I'm here for it.
I'm also not tired of it, but I was also never into it.
Baby Yoda all day, day. Yeah. But like I said, I didn't watch The Mandalorian because I knew I would get bored of it. Because it's hard for me to stick with, like, certain things. And especially, like, it keeps getting released episodically, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people that, like, excuse me.
Goodness gracious, what's happening?
If I get into something, I would like to continue to watch it until it's done with, and I'm a binger. I can't do the whole once a week kind of thing. So once it has completed its season, I'll probably go back and watch it. But
well, I'm also not a big Star Wars person, so I'm just not interested.
But
what Leah said about being someone that doesn't really get into things, we were really into like Kimmy Schmidt. And then the last 6 episodes released and we still haven't watched them. And it's been like 2 years.
Because it stopped being funny.
I disagree. I thought it was still great. But we still haven't watched the last 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we haven't done that.
I'm sorry. It's one of my great personal failings.
Leah doesn't get into things ever. Ever.
This is coming from the person that had all the phases in the world. Like, I get into things way too deeply. That's why I've tried to, like, calm myself down as an adult and not... And don't indulge my obsessive side, because I have a very, very obsessive side, and I have to, like...
Can I please...
calm myself. What?
Can we please discuss what we just talked about at dinner? Please. For the love of God.
If you must.
I said something about a pretentious child on something we were watching while we were eating dinner. And Leah said, no, that's a quirky kid. I was a pretentious child. And I said, what did you do? She said, I had a phase where I only wrote with a quill pen. So, like, fucking A, yeah, you're a goddamn pretentious child. And someone should have put you in your place. Your parents just allowed it to happen.
Yes,
yeah, sure. We'll get you feathers. Leah said she made her own ink out of walnuts.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking A. You're such a pretentious child.
So the way that happened was, actually, we went on a field trip, I guess in like 5th grade with the gifted program to the, it's the Alabama Village thing outside of, the American Village is what it's called, outside of Montevallo.
Okay.
And it's like they have a colonial house. They've got a replica scale model of Mount Vernon that you get to go through, and it's just one of those like revolutionary time period colonial reenactment places, and it's really beautiful. I love it a lot, but we went a bunch because it was so close. So we went there, and I got a how to make your own ink thing, and then a pen that you got to cut your own pen, and I was really into it, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So I had the ink and all of that stuff, and then I was also really into the American Girls, and in one of them it gave you a recipe on how to make walnut shell ink, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, and it became a thing. Okay, and then I graduated from feather pens to glass pens, and it was a weird time in my life. Okay, I was a pretentious child, I admit it freely. There was a wax seal involved. Leave me alone.
Yeah, that was another thing. She said she had a wax seal to seal letters to people with her initials on it.
Yeah.
Who were you sending letters to?
Nobody.
Yeah, but you had it.
I wax sealed letters to my mom sometimes.
That's sweet. You didn't tell me that. Did you drop them in your mailbox too? Did you take them out to the street?
No.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, that kind of sucks.
But the problem is my penmanship has always been super terrible, so...
That's the problem? That's the problem.
I mean, like, if you're writing with a quill pen, you want it to look really elegant and pretty and, like, worthy of, like, taking so much fucking time to write something, but no. My penmanship was miserable. So.
I had calligraphy pens. I thought those were fun.
I had some of those as well.
It didn't last, though. I didn't have a phase. I just had calligraphy pens. That's it. Don't look at me like that. Leah's really angry that I brought this up.
I'm just... Everybody has to know that I was the worst child.
You weren't the worst. You were just pretentious.
True.
And now you're a perfectly adjusted adult.
Oh, someone tell my boss that. She needs to know. All right. This next question's from Alexandra. It says, what is the most important life lesson you've learned so far?
Life lesson? I don't know. What do you think, Leah?
Literally no one gives a fuck what you look like. I guess that's the, like, when people, like, in your mind, in your brain, you think that people are paying attention to what you're wearing every day and what you look like and how you're, literally nobody gives a fuck. Like, be you, enjoy yourself. Like, obviously personal hygiene is definitely a thing. Take care of yourself, but like, if you want to wear the stupid thing, wear the stupid fucking thing, because nobody cares, and if it makes you feel better about you, you look better because you're happy. That's maybe not, I mean, just of the life lessons, I think that I would go back and, like, tell myself as a kid, which I know probably isn't the actual thing, but, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell a younger me, life lesson wise, you know. Fucking literally nobody is looking at you like they are in your head. They just aren't, because nobody cares about you. They care about themselves.
Yeah, I would say that. I agree with that. That the, the mental image you have of yourself is not what other people see. I agree with that. Mine, the most important life lesson, and I get this from a lifetime growing up playing sports, and I try to instill it in children when I coach them as well. Not the idea that losing isn't a big deal, because, I mean, that is part of it. Losing isn't a big deal, but the fact that winning is not a big deal. It's not something to hold over people's heads. It's not something to be proud of because you just won. Well, yeah, be proud, but, like, it's not everything. And I think that's super important at this point in our country, especially. When the only defense you have is, yeah, but I won. Yeah, but you also suck at everything. You know, it's not a good thing to win in a lot of cases. So you can just lose and still be better off. You know, and it happens a lot in sports where the quote unquote wrong team or person wins. And it'll teach you a lesson real quick when you win when you're not supposed to, because you're going to go, I don't really feel good about this. But then when you lose and you can still feel good about yourself, it's a self-esteem thing, is what I would say. It took me a long time to, like, really have a lot of self-esteem and feel good about myself. But sports really help with that. A lot. Winning and losing, Leah.
I'm a competitive bitch. I still haven't learned that lesson.
Well, just keep losing to me and you'll eventually figure it out.
I've lost to you, like, twice. So.
Yeah, we've played twice. This is everything, by the way. We've played everything twice, and Leah always loses.
That is not accurate. If it has to do with, like, large muscle groups, obviously Mitch is going to win because I'm uncoordinated as fuck.
My big old muscles.
But if it takes, like, small hand-eye coordination, muscle movement, I'm really good at that. And I kick his ass at trivia that isn't sports trivia. Always.
Okay. Well, excuse me. I still say Midweek Minis should turn into me and you reading Trivial Pursuit cards to each other.
I'd still kick your ass.
That's the best idea. We could live stream that. People would love that.
No, they wouldn't. No one would watch that.
I'd watch it. I will watch us back doing that.
This is another one. It says, iambic pentameter. Yes or no?
Who's it from?
Sam.
Formerly Pip. He's not in hiding anymore. Iambic pentameter. No, because that's what pretentious children write with fucking quill pens. No, thank you.
Guilty as fuck.
You wrote iambic pentameter with your fucking quill pen?
I had a Shakespeare phase. Fuck off.
With your peanut ink?
It was walnut ink.
Yeah, you're right.
God
Peanuts are too fatty to make a good ink. That's my fault.
My parents, at my request, bought me the unabridged collection of Shakespeare in the hardback fancy bound books.
Leah was 6 years old and asked for it.
No, I was like 12. But to be fair, no, there's nothing to be fair about.
No,
I was just a fucking nerd.
No, when you make it a point to put everything you write in the exact same meter, I don't like you. Fuck you.
I memorized a lot of monologues. Anyway,
yeah, of course you did.
I was a weird kid. I told you that. But no, iambic pentameter definitely has its place. It's really fun in certain areas, but like, it just depends, It's useful in some situations. It's not useful in other situations. But like, just in general, pro or con, I'm for it.
I'm also not a Shakespeare fan. I've never liked Shakespeare. Just ever. I don't like any of it. I don't get it. And because it's written so pretentiously, that's why I don't get it.
But it's not written pretentiously, that's the thing.
It totally is. That's exactly something a pretentious person would say.
It's not, though. The whole thing is like just... It's a big old collection of dick jokes, Mitchell, and as long as you get the dick jokes, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just common and bawdy and gross, and people only think it's pretentious because they don't understand sort of the wordplay because of the age of the language, but once you study it, it is just a bunch of fucking dick jokes, and it's hilarious.
Also, Shakespeare was the Dane Cook of his time. Or Carlos Mencia, maybe? I don't know. Stole a bunch of shit from what I've read.
See, and I get where you're coming from, but in that day and age, the whole copyright and like intellectual property kind of thing wasn't as big of a deal. So it's about remixing stories and telling stories in a different way, and it's a collaborative art. And I don't think... I mean, granted, like I said, a lot of his stories did come from other sources, but the way he wrote them was interesting, and that's where I kind of have an issue with the whole copyright thing, because you can't keep remixing things and making new things out of old ideas, like they used to be, and I don't know, that's a whole nother intellectual property conversation, but I get where you're coming from, but I also don't think it's quite accurate.
Pip, I prefer limericks is the answer to iambic pentameter. No is my response.
There once was a man from Nantucket.
Oh, all right. Well, let's stop with the questions.
Okay.
Because we need to announce our new thing that we're doing in March, y'all.
Yes.
Midweek Minis will be taking a break for the month of March.
March only.
Because you take it. You know what's happening.
And that was was a question that Sam wrote. Not a question, but just a comment that he thought it was really funny that every time we do midweek minis, we always are like, I don't know how long this is going to last. He compared us to Wikipedia, that pop-up ad at the front. That's like, we don't know how much money.
Yeah, we should totally be doing that. If you donate 70 cents, you will save starving podcasters. We're not starving,
no,
but like...
we are not starving at all.
We're starving for questions.
That or an NPR, like a donation pledge drive.
Yeah.
But instead of the pledge drive this year, what we're going to be doing instead of midweek minis for the month of March and the month of March only, we are going to be doing a cryptid tournament. And obviously I'm going to call it Monster Madness because why the fuck
obviously
not? And what's going to happen is I have already started to gather your suggestions for cryptids, and if you have a suggestion, the weirder the better. They can be from anywhere in the world, any type. Just send me a cryptid name on any of the social media platforms. Email it to me. Excuse me. Whatever you've got, I'll take it. And we are going to take the 8 ones that I like the best, I guess.
Yeah. She said 16 to someone earlier. We talked about it, and 8 is much more doable.
Yeah, so. 16 was going to take a couple extra weeks, and I think to keep it all in March, self-contained is going to be better. So
yes.
Maybe we'll change it next year depending on how it works. But for right now, we're going to stick with 8, and we're going to take the top 8 cryptids, and we are going to put them in a bracket. And I will be publishing the bracket in case anybody wants to play along at home. But what's going to happen is I'm going to tell you all about each cryptid, and they're going to do head-to-head matches.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about who could beat who. So, it might be Mothman versus Nessie, and we're going to talk about who could win in a battle of Mothman versus Nessie. And we're going to make our arguments, and then we're going to let y'all vote on it. And I will have the voting links posted. Voting will be open for a few days before I close it. And, whoever gets the most votes will go on to the next round, etc., until we get a final champion. And that will be our Monster Madness champion for the year. And when we do find out who that happens to be, we will also be drawing for a prize pack. Just as a thank you for participating in Monster Madness. Yes. So if you vote, you're entered to win. So if you vote every round, you're entered that many times. So, incentive on listening to us and voting.
Yeah. The voting will be open for like 4 days after the episode releases, something like that, just to keep it moving quickly.
Yeah.
So depending on how many votes we get, we'll see how this goes.
Exactly. So just an incentive for you guys to kind of keep going along. We will announce what's in the prize pack later on, but we're working on some merch, and hopefully there will be like a t-shirt, maybe a mug, something like that.
Maybe a beer glass. Those are kind of expensive, though, so I don't know. We'll see.
Actually, we could do a beer glass pretty easily.
Yeah.
We know someone with
you want to make
a glass etcher. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So anyway, we're going to have a fancy, fun prize pack, and like I said, there'll be more details on that later. But yeah, if you are interested, keep a lookout for that on Wednesdays in March. And if you have a submission that you would like to submit, let us know which cryptid you'd like to see in the tournament. Yeah,
this is also an excuse for us to finally get things together and get designs put on a merch store.
Yeah.
So... we don't, expect a lot of stuff or anything, but we do want to have something up for the people who've been asking. So we want to get some shit together.
And like I said, we're going to roll out some basic stuff first, logo t-shirts, a couple alternative things. For the most part, don't expect a ton of designs to start out with, but we will, start doing a couple of different things here and there. Maybe some limited edition merch as we can get artists to do things. But
I want some Monster Madness t-shirts.
That would be awesome, but So, like I said, we like to pay artists fairly, and artists are expensive. So, like I said, it might take a while for us to get some more merch options out there, but we will have a merch store open by the end of March. Monster Madness.
There you go.
I'm hoping. So that'll be a celebration of the launch of our merch store, and just a fun alternative to Midweek Minis for the month of March, and we'll walk away with a fancy fucking cryptid. It's gonna be great.
Yep, we surely will. Well, y'all keep submitting questions and personal stories, whatever you would like, because we will bank them and we will get them back out to you in April. Now, we've still got a couple weeks left in February, so,
yes.
We'll
so, like I said, yeah, definitely keep sending those in, especially questions. Thanks to Sam for actually turning in some more questions. Him and I think Marissa and Kim keeping this bag full. Appreciate that so much. And if anybody else wants to send in more listener stories, I've got a couple, and I would like to keep adding to that so we can have a backlog, because we run out of that stuff all at once. So.
Yep. I'm telling you, we're going to sit here and read smart-ass questions to each other.
Oh, no one would like that. But anyway,
I love smart-ass.
It's a great game.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, that's it. Look forward to Monster Madness, and you've got a couple weeks left, so submit some cryptid names just on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. You can do it on the community chat. Just get our attention, tag us in it or something.
Because I've got some cute stat cards that I want to write up for them.
Yes.
And, yeah.
So, submit those if you want to see them on the bracket. We will decide the seeds, the 1 through 8 seeds, and put them on. But, submit, and we'll look into them and see what we think should be on there.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, I'm excited about it. I hope you are, Leah.
So excited.
Monster Madness.
It's like that board game Mall Madness. Did you ever play that?
No.
Loved that fucking board game.
All right, y'all. Well, that's enough. So, y'all come back for the main release this weekend, and we'll see you for Midweek Minis next week.
All right. Bye, y'all.